me Z&T because I'm the best in the game. I got the fame, the style that isn't lame.
Hey, is there a cassette tape anywhere?
I sure do. This cassette is the best, I can attest. Best cassette in the east to the west. Yeah, I ain't a rapper. This cassette's dapper. I'm no capper.
Okay, do you mind if I take that off your hands?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, thank you.
No problem, bro.
And this is this week's Closet Classics.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Virginia. Always nice to see you.
Same here. This is Jerry, Sergeant Jerry Mills, and he's going to be taking us on a tour today of the new Burlington Police Station. A little nostalgia here because it's the old Union School, and many of you may have even gone to school here, so it might be kind of nice to see this film. Come on with us. Jerry, why don't you tell us a little bit about this area?
Yeah, this is our records room.
Uh-huh.
Anyone who needs any records on any accidents, any type of police reports, theft reports, vandalism, anything like that, all ends up in the records room. And we have
Inspector Crocker, call front desk, please.
that we keep records in this area up to 5 years, and we have a records room upstairs where we keep everything up to 15 years.
So anyone can come in and you look up whatever they're asking and
Positively.
see what happened
Positively.
at that time,
That's
and the
correct.
records are all there for them to do that. huh?
Positively. And it's all centrally located, which is a big difference over the old station. It's a great operation here. Very qualified people.
By the way, this is the old section in the Union School itself.
certainly
as you
is.
can see, from some of the doorways and things that are still almost the same as they were.
Almost,
years
but it's
ago.
been completely renovated, and we here in the police are enjoying it. It's quite a place. It's a beautiful place. I believe that.
I'm sure it is. Take a happy policeman for
Oh,
a
very
good place,
happy.
right?
Very happy.
Okay, Jerry, let's move on now.
Certainly.
That would be Captain Rose. He was a police captain here. He died in 1984 while on vacation. A very missed member of the Burlington Police Department. And this office here is Captain Devlin's office. He is normally our night captain, works 4 to 12. He's in charge of the operations section of the police department.
Hey, Jerry, what is the area we're now entering here?
This is the chief secretary, Ann Janitis. This is her office. It's like a reception area if anybody wants to come in and see the chief of police.
Mm-hmm. And what offices are now adjoining here?
We have a classroom off to your left here, which we will show you in a little while. Captain Solomon's office would be
Down this way?
over there through that door to my right, and behind the reception office is a little lounge area for the secretaries and the chief. Small but adequate area. It's very nice, and we'll see
sit in
in a
there
minute
and
there's
relax
some
and
nice
have a cup of
flowers in
coffee,
there,
huh?
and they can sit down and relax. It's a nice little area. As small
Kind
as
of a
it may
break
be.
from a police station into a little area where they
Yes.
can relax and enjoy it.
Yes.
That's nice. And of course, that's the chief's office over there.
Yes.
Yet, as you come into this building, you see we have the history of Burlington here. The
Right.
police station is remaining in the common in a building that was built in 1897.
Right? And the outside looks like it did many, many years ago, except that, of course, the painting and everything is done, but it's really, you know, you're entering into nostalgia with so many people from Burlington went to this school, you know, even my own children.
The new building is finished in the same style. We have the old style blue police bulbs out front. So we wanted to give it that friendly look, and we certainly invite the public to come up and see it at any time.
We also have something very unique out there on top of the building.
Oh, the town clock.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in the third story, actually. That is it's in the old attic that's not used, but we have the clock installed in the windows, or just above the windows up there.
Hey, Jerry, give us a little information about this room now. I know you have computer equipment in here. What is going on?
Well, first of all, this is Lieutenant Hart's office. And as you're seeing, to start off with, he's a collector of baseball cards and baseball memorabilia. And he has quite a collection. This is a very small part of it. But with regard to Lieutenant Hart now, he handles all the computer equipment and makes sure it's all maintained and up to date. And with regard to Lieutenant Hart, again, it's amazing. He's brought this department into the 90s and into the year 2000 with his computers and his programs. He's done an excellent job. We are all computerized, and I believe most of the credit goes to Lieutenant Hart for that.
Well, we all know how effective computers have been in police work over the past couple of years, several years, I should say. And, of course, it's much more sophisticated today than it was then. And I'm sure they're doing a great job. But I know that there is a great need for the computer systems.
It certainly is. It's really helped our department with regard to finding records faster and assisting other departments when they need information with regard to criminal activity, arrests, and the like. And just the in-house information, it's helped us tremendously.
Well, where are we entering now, Jerry? Oh, a classroom. Was this one of the old classrooms of the old building? Would you say that?
I would say that, but as you can see, it was completely renovated. And we use this now as a classroom, special instruction for the officers. It is not a roll call room, which eventually we'll see. This is used to teach and instruct in anything like CPR, updated laws, and if we have out-of-town officers or civilians come in where we want to give them some instruction with regard to shoplifting, we can come in here and conduct these classes.
So the safety officer does some of his work in here?
Safety officer could utilize this, yes.
How about they do the DARE program?
No, not really. The DARE programs are conducted at the school, and well, you mentioned DARE. That's probably one of the best programs ever to come along.
I thought you'd have them coming in from out of town. We're doing such a great job with the DARE program here.
Burlington is doing an excellent job. In fact, I think Burlington is really now at the forefront of the DARE program, and it's an excellent program. Officer Anderson handles that.
I've had the fortune to go to some of the graduations of the DARE program, and it's really fantastic. Of course, you've been there, too, and many of the other officers, and the ones involved in the program itself.
Very dedicated.
Oh, yes.
Very dedicated.
The children seem, like over-exuberant about the whole thing. They really love it.
I think it's the greatest thing to come along, especially at teaching children at a young age the problems with drugs before they get into 15 or 16, their friends tell them to try it. At least they're going to have an idea how it affects them. I think it's going to really work out in the future. I think our younger people, there's going to be less drug use because of the DARE program. I believe that. Absolutely, I agree with you. It's a great program. I hope it continues on. And I know they're doing a great job in Burlington, and I can't say any more than that. Right. It's a tremendous job. Positively. Yeah. Okay, Jerry, what room are we here now? This looks like a lounge or some type for the police officers. Is that? That's correct. This is an officer's lounge, or anybody who works in the department can come up here and relax on their lunch break. We have several officers that live out of town, and sometimes they work through on their shift. What we call some of the 4 to midnight officers would work midnight to 8 on overtime, and they can come up here for a half hour. They're allowed a half-hour break between the change of the shift if they're working extra. And they come up here and relax, and as you can see, they can make themselves a little something light to eat and relax and watch TV. It's a very relaxing room. I see they have a little stove there, sink, and area that they can wash up their dirty dishes. Yeah, I've eaten lunch in here myself, and it's very comfortable. Actually, it's very relaxing. It's a nice room. It really is. Of course, that's Russ's patch collection, which I guess he's been keeping a secret until we moved into this new building. It allowed him to bring it out. Very neat. Some of his trophies and posters. He has quite a few there from the different areas of state and towns, right? Well, it certainly has a lot more trophies at home. Russ has always been involved in sports, from playing them to being a coach. He's really done a lot for the community. He certainly has. This is Officer Thompson's desk over here. That's correct. Our youth service officer. Also, like to make a little note there. If you see behind his desk is pictures of some of the teams. Dennis is a coach at the Burlington High School girls basketball.
He's got some tremendous teams there,
oh,
too.
has he ever? Yeah, he's.
That's right.
Well, he's a good coach, obviously. He's and all the people that participate in the program respect him tremendously.
He's done a very good job
That's-
as a police officer and as his program over there at the high school.
That's correct.
I know I'm a sports fan myself, so I know.
Remember, yeah.
Okay, Jerry, now I think this is the DARE officer's desk, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
Could you
correct.
fill us in a little bit on our DARE officer?
Officer Anderson, again, as I said before, I can't say enough for the DARE program and Officer Anderson. He's doing a tremendous job. He's very dedicated to the program, and as you can see by some of these pictures, he's the one there, particularly by the lake. He goes camping, goes on camping trips with children. He's involved on and off the job with this program.
He's done a tremendous job, as we talked about that a few minutes ago. He's done a tremendous job, and the community is very pleased and very proud of him.
And well should be.
Okay, Jerry, we're entering another fairly large room here now. Would you explain a little bit about it?
This is the detective's office. We have Inspector Crocker, Inspector Moore, Inspector Ciccarello, and Inspector Aloisi. They each have a desk here, and they conduct most of their business and their in-house interviews up here in this office.
Hey, Jerry, we're downstairs in the old Union School, what they call the old Union School building, and I can see from the old brick wall over there. We'll get a picture of that too. But this area now, what is this going to be used for?
This here will eventually be the Civil Defense headquarters for any emergencies, storms, hurricanes, anything like that, any flooding. Civil Defense is going to operate out of here. They're waiting to move their equipment in here now. It is all set up with phone jacks, electricity, and eventually they'll be moving their communications equipment in here.
So if anything came up, an emergency in Burlington or probably even our neighboring communities, they'd be all set to go here.
Absolutely, and certainly again in full communications and right here at the police department. It's going to be very functional, and I believe it'll work out well for Civil Defense and the town.
I think it will, considering the little office they were working out of,
Yes,
that I remember,
yeah.
and certainly not room enough to even move around in. This is great. This is a nice area, and like I said, it's part of the old building. And I think we're going to get Rich to take some pictures of that wall over there, the old stone wall that originally is still part of the building. Hey, Jerry, we're entering another area down here in the old section of the building, the Union School section, and I can see that there's some type of physical or weight room or something going on here. I know you haven't got all the equipment in yet. Would you like to explain a little bit about it?
Well, this here is going to be the exercise room. Right now, some of the officers have brought in some of their own things to work out with. We hope to have this fully operational within 6 months. The Patrolmen's Union is now soliciting funds to buy all new equipment, that being life cycles, more weights, and even small items like jump ropes and exercise bags, anything like that. We hope to have that, again, fully operational within 6 months. So the officer come in here and work out off-duty. It would certainly be off-duty. And there's a lot of officers interested. A lot of them join clubs right now, and we'd like to have it right here so we'd get more people interested in it. That, like at the end of your shift, you could just come down here and work out.
Well, I think it's good for the police officers to keep in shape.
Oh,
And,
positively.
you never know what they're going to be running into out there today. And certainly it's a good area here, and once you get it developed with the equipment, I'm sure they'll have a good room here to do their exercising in.
I believe that, yes. I'm looking forward to it, actually. This here's the men's locker room. When the officers come in to report for duty, they come in here and change and get their equipment. We have a female officer's locker room across the hall.
Hey, Jerry, you want to explain a little bit about what we're doing right now and what area this is?
This here's our, what we call a sally port, garage, I guess. What happens here is when a person is arrested and brought in, the officer in the cruiser radios into the desk officers and asks them to open the sally port. It's controlled by the front desk officers. And the cruiser drives in here, and the desk officer closes the door, and the prisoner is brought into booking from here. It's kind of a safety purpose where somebody, sometimes we've had people try to run away as soon as you open the cruiser door.
Explain, we've come in through from Sallyport now, in this area here in the corridor. What room are we entering now over here?
This corridor leads us into what's called a holding cell. This is a very large cell. It would be used mostly for group arrest. That would be a raid. If you had a drug raid or something like that, and you arrested 8 or 10 people, you would hold them in this cell and take them out individually to be booked and then placed in a regular cell, which we'll show you. And like all our cells, you'll see this is glass and or Lexan, and it's for safety purposes. There are no more bars. We don't have any bars on our cell.
They're ready to be able to hang themselves on the bars or whatever.
That's correct. That's one of the reasons we have this now.
Also, to monitor here too.
Oh yes, and speaking of monitoring, all our cells, including this one, are monitored on the television screen and audio. The front desk personnel can listen to them and watch them, make sure they don't hurt themselves or do any damage. Okay, from the Sallyport and or holding, you would come into the booking area. This would be the booking room. Okay, when a person is brought in here, the booking officer, and that would be the command officer on duty at the time, would be behind this desk, and the prisoner would remain here. And in booking, the officer has to take all pertinent information, name of person, date of birth, address, occupation, and certainly charges of the crime, and inform that person what the charges are and advise him of his rights. And that's all entered into an in-house computer. And
Captain Devil, can you call the front desk, please?
and also we have the breathalyzer is giving here that's behind you. And from booking, and the person's certainly allowed to make a phone call, and we don't limit them to one phone call. We allow people to make reasonable phone calls here, and at no charges. Not like the movies where if you get a dime, you can make one call. We're very lenient here in Burlington with that, and rightfully so.
Jerry, that looks like a very sophisticated piece of equipment there, the breathalyzer. Is that one of the latest ones that they have out?
That is one of the latest models. It is the latest model, the intoxilizer. And there's a lot of people giving some false information on it. Years ago, I guess they could be tampered with, for lack of a better term. The intoxilizer is completely computer controlled, and there's no way, at least that I know of, ever heard of, that can be tampered with. And from booking, we come into the cell block area. This is the new cells. As you can see, again, there are no bars. They're video and audio monitored. We have a total of 10 cells now.
Okay, now which cells are these? This is the male cells?
Adult male, yes.
Adult
We have
male cells.
3 here, a bank of 3. And directly behind it, we have another bank of 3 for 6. And across the hall, and I will show you that, we have 2 juvenile cells, which are the same as these, and 2 female cells.
That makes up the 10.
That makes up a total of 10 cells, right. And again, when we have a female prisoner in here, across the hall, we have a matron called in. We always have a female here. We have a female police officer until a matron is in. And then I'll show you a room where the matrons sit and can monitor the female prisoners, which they have a shutout to the front desk. In other words, the front desk cannot monitor female prisoners because there'd be men walking around out there, obviously.
Yes.
So they are completely isolated on the video and audio section of the camera.
So you need the matron to do that?
We need the matron to do that, that's correct.
Okay. Jerry, you want to explain a little bit about this room here, what goes on in here?
This here is the
matron's room, the on-duty matron who would be monitoring female prisoners. She would sit at this desk and again, it monitor any female prisoners. And there is no monitoring at the front desk of female prisoners.
Just the men are monitored out there.
That's correct.
This is a very unique room, Jerry, that we just entered now. Would you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it doesn't look the way it usually does, I'll tell you that much, and I'll explain. But from the locker room, the two locker rooms, female and male, the officers come in here to be given their assignments by the shift commander of the day. And he assigns them vehicles and any assignments, special assignments such as stakeouts or walking foot beats, anything like that. Mm-hmm. And from here they get any information from the previous shifts, what happened during the day and what to be on the lookout for from the detective division or anybody that may be able to exchange information with them that may help them during their tour of duty. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, it's set up right now. We have a gentleman here from Neptune Police Supply, and he came in this morning for the day shift. And this is for officer supplies. As you can see, there's various equipment here, from shoes to holsters to mace and
so whatever is worn
flashlights.
out,
exactly.
You want to replace, they can
exactly.
replace right here.
Yeah, it's unusual. This gentleman comes in here probably once every 4 or 5 months. As you can see, we have a television set in here. That is not the average television set. That is the Law Enforcement Network Television, LETN. It's a nationwide network for police officers. It advises them in the latest techniques and procedures with relation to police, updates them on various laws and the like. And any officer can come down here and watch it. Pretty much it would have to be on his own time. If we have a specific show that we want the officers to see, we'll hold them over at a roll call and let them watch one of these procedures.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jerry, we've entered into an area where they have the gun racks and so forth. Will you give them a little explanation about this room?
This here would be the range officer's office. Right now that is Sergeant Shepard. Mm-hmm. And down here we keep what we call heavy weapons. And
Jerry, I'm truly impressed. This is the most impressionable place I've ever been. I've never been in a firing range before. This is really very, very different. Maybe not different because I've never been in one, but how about explaining a little bit about the new firing range?
Well, this is a new range. It's the most modern, up-to-date range. There's 4 bays here. It is all electronically and computer controlled. The range officer would stand behind the window here, and he controls the targets. And what they do is these targets, we not only do qualify on still targets, we have to qualify on moving targets. And not only these targets move toward you and away from you, they also turn at an angle. And we have a situation that's called shoot, don't shoot, good guy, bad guy, where the target will turn towards you for a split second with a gun in his hand or a cup of tonic even in his hand. And you have to decide in split seconds whether you shoot or don't shoot. And you're graded on that, and those records are kept. So it's
really a super duper.
Oh yeah, quite an innovation. It's typical of what the FBI uses in Quantico.
You were talking in the other room about now the daytime shooting and nighttime shooting, so I assume that this is darkened for nighttime shooting to qualify for nighttime shooting.
Positively. We have dimmers, and actually we add noise at times to the situations for confusion, because if an officer had to jump out of a police car and was involved in a shooting, it's not sterile. There's lights going, sirens, so we simulate that in here too. And
so all the motion is there, and the decisions have to be made.
As much as we try to make it as realistic as possible, of course, it's difficult, but this is the modern range, and this is as good as it gets right now.
Well, we know when a police officer gets out on the street, there's almost an entirely different situation, or but at least they do have something here, assurance of their feeling and emotions when they do get out on the street of what's going to take place.
Absolutely.
Okay, Jerry, give us a little information now. This looks like an operations room to me. Now, what do you say?
I say it's an operations room. It is the operations room, front desk area, probably the heart of the police station and mostly all its functions, especially the line functions. Originally, you saw the administrative section and a lot of the station, but this here is whatever happens on in town with regard to the police goes through here. And we have a couple of desk officers over here. These are two of our day desk officers, Officer Sawyer Jr. and Officer Mackey. And they're responsible for all calls that come into the police department. And they coordinate those calls. And by coordinating, they would coordinate, say, with the fire department. If they got a call that a person was injured at the mall or fell down, we are in immediate contact with the fire department. If that came in on a 1212 line, 272-1212, we would get, and a lot of our calls come in like that because people are familiar with that number and people are living in town. We also are on 911, and the fire department is on 911. When we get a 911 emergency call, the fire department automatically picks up also, and they monitor our calls, so that makes things go a little faster. But we are in voice contact with the fire department at all times for any emergency. And with regard to non-emergencies, a lot of informational calls that come in here. Just people that need information about accidents that they've been involved in, directions to any place in town. And we get all your, any house alarm, business alarm, hold-up alarm comes through here. And these officers have to dispatch the cars. And they keep in contact with the cars, certainly by radio, and the closest vehicle would get the call. If it's something that requires a detective, they would send a detective. They pretty much make the immediate decisions right here at the desk. There is a command officer on duty at all times, and the command officer monitors these calls from another office, which I showed you. And he listens in all these calls, and if he has to make any decisions, he's right there involved in it.
So police officers don't have to be police officers outside in the street. They have to be able to handle all the equipment here in the office and in the operations area too.
Absolutely. Every officer has some training on the desk, We like to try to keep the same officers on the desk. We have some very good desk officers, and they're an important function of the police department. They have to be right on the ball for things to keep things coordinated.
I know
There's a
these
lot of
young
information
men
go
are out on the
through.
road too, because I read their name in the paper all
Yes,
the
they
time.
are. They
So,
are.
I'm sure that they're busy along with doing this. They're also out on the road, keeping busy, taking care of the community, huh?
That's correct. They do it all, but and they do a good job in it. But like I say, you have to have quite a bit of expertise to be a good desk man, and we have some good desk men here. You deal with the public a lot more than. As a matter of fact, they would handle if a cruiser took 10 calls in a 2-hour period, one cruiser, and each cruiser took 10 calls in a 2-hour period of say 40 calls. They would handle all of the calls. If you understand that reasoning, they have to take every call that comes in here, decide who it should go to, and be aware of what's going on all around them. And as you can see here at the front desk, not only we have this radio equipment, we have the officers control all the security doors to let people in here, including, as we showed you before, the Sally port. You can see it on the screen over there. I'm sure you'll pick that up. When a prisoner is brought in, the officer can see that the cruiser's in and push a button in here and close the door. He's also in voice communication because we have audio out there and audio with the booking room and so on. So, and he can monitor the booking room, the cells. As you can see, some of the cells are on the screens right now. And we have cameras all around the department. There's, as you see up there, there's one moving around, panning the parking lot to make sure that that there's nobody walking around or doing anything they shouldn't be. And especially at night, you can have those problems, believe it or not, even on a police department property. We've had cruisers damaged and the like. But we didn't have this equipment in the old station, so this makes it much better.
So you have a continuous monitoring, really throughout the whole building.
Positive,
in a sense, right?
yes, that's correct.
So anything that's going on in the prevalent areas like the cells or outside of the Sally Port, they're all brought right into here.
That's correct. As I said, we're a modern, up-to-date police department. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of this department. It's and the men in it.
I think Burlington is proud of the Burlington Police Department as well as our fire department. I think we have the finest around, and I've always said that. And I'm not. You're not. It's okay to say that?
No, thank you. We appreciate that. I know that you've always been good to the police.
And Jerry, it's been fascinating going through this building today with you and meeting some of the other police officers, and of course the gentleman right here doing a tremendous job. So I hope and will continue in that you have a lot of happiness here in this new building. I know when a police officer is happy in his job, he does a good job, and I'm sure that this building is going to be very pleasant for all of you here. It's built for service.
Certainly.
And thank you very much, Jerry.
Thank you, Virginia. Anytime.
So you're on the road again?
I'm on the road again. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm in administration now. I'm up with the bean counters. So.
Well, that's okay. Wherever you are, you're doing the job, and that's important here in Burlington. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the new police station. It's very unique, and like I said, a little bit of nostalgia is added in today. So hope to see you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.